Hi everyone, so I decided I wanted to try something different for this, I guess, update to the project. So this is what I have so far of the Oolacile expansion. Everything we see here, it's actually completely completed. That's a weird sentence. But I'm just going to be showing all the changes I've made and the progress of how it's come along for the tabletop simulator version. So we have the Scarecrow immediately off. I do plan on changing the art. It's a little weird for this one. So, I mean, there's nothing much to say a lot about these models. I'm just going to be going over them, showing you if I've made any changes. Here's a Stone Guardian. I did make a couple of changes to him. I took out the giant ball that was in his shoulder for a smaller ball and a smaller on this other arm. It's the best I could do. I'm so sorry. His card hasn't changed. I still quite enjoy it. Let's expand it here. I do like it, so it's unlikely that this is going to change. Maybe if anything, his damage is going to change. So here's the Undead Attack Dog. Probably not going to change at all. I did get the icon here from Modus86 on the Dark Souls board game Reddit. I would like to thank you for supplying some of your portraits and cards for use. I did take the dog icon here, so again, thanks. Moving on to the Chained Prisoner. Oh, that looks weird. Do like this one. I love how the card turned out. Again, not much to say here. Playtesting will deem if a lot of these cards are going to be changed. For the most part, they're not going to be changed. I do plan on playtesting it a couple times, if not once or twice, before actually going through with announcing a full release. Bloathead, I mean, again, nothing's changed. Same thing with the Bloathead Sorcerer. Main thing that I wanted to show off here was the bosses. So let's go left to right. We have Knight Artorias, we have Calamite, and we have a Sanctuary Guardian. Now, I would like to say that I guess like the soul icons and the encounter icons at the bottom left, they are going to change. I haven't updated it for this video because these are using the Imager icons and pictures. But I did make a greenish icon to differentiate between vanilla assets and the Oolacile edition assets that I've gone ahead and made. Artorias, he looks quite good in game. I'm sure if it gets to the point of 3 printing him, he'll look just as good. There's no issues with him. It looks quite good. It's kind of low poly, but I like how it looks. Moving on to Calamite, I decided to edit his tail over there. Instead of it going straight, it's now curved. There are some issues with it now. Maybe I'll revert it. Maybe I won't. It's hard to say. Calamite's model hasn't changed, but it looks like it's gone lower poly. There's nothing I can do about that. Some issues that arose with the Calamite card was that people are saying that he seems too OP. Just wait until you see his behaviors, because I have made this guy very difficult. That being said, Calamite does intend to be the mega boss here, but I will just keep trying to get this in here. I'm going to playtest everything with myself and my brother and a couple of friends. We're going to see if Calamite's too strong, if Artorias is too strong, if Sanctuary Guardian is too strong, and one other person. This is the first time I am announcing him. When I say that, he is a boss. You could assume who he is. I'm going to save him for the end because I finished everything for him this morning. Originally, I couldn't get the model for him. I got the model for him, so I did everything in about an hour. So yeah, moving on to Sanctuary Guardian. I gave him super low physical defense in lieu for him having 4 magic defense, and this is probably going to be the first boss that people facing this expansion are going to fight. So try to make this guy pretty easy. His attacks don't do a lot of damage. You're looking at roughly 3 to 6 actually. I'll show off his behavior deck once I finish everyone's behavior decks. And for these 3 people, their behavior decks are actually finished. Artorias has, I believe, I want to say 15 cards. Calamite has 17 cards, 12 regular attacks, and 5 heat ups. And I want to say Sanctuary Guardian has roughly 10, if not 12. So now we're going to go on to the newest person that I've gone ahead and added. I hope you guys like him as much as I do. Meet Manus, Father of the Abyss. So Manus, Father of the Abyss does have the updated icons, because like I said, I just made him now. You're not going to be able to find this asset anywhere else from any of my posts. I just made him now. So this is the release of Manus. Update 0.01. Yay. Please don't count that. So going to go over Manus. His ability is basically Father of the Abyss, and I want him to be scaled for absolute endgame. So if a party decides to go for 4 bosses, all bosses in the expansion, I really want them to have prepared everything before fighting Manus. So that shows by going the fact that if he takes 3 or more damage at once, the damage taken is reduced by 1. So I mean that might be a little difficult with his 4/4 defense, especially with his high pool of life. That might be changed. Also, he deals 1 extra point of damage to players without an Ember. I decided on that off a whim. I decided Manus needs to have something that makes him special. I wanted him to be not sidetracked by everyone else and swept under the rug. So I decided, let's give him something that no one else in the game has. Again, might change with playtesting. Any more updates or videos I make will determine that. I may not do any more videos, we'll have to see. But just again, run over Manus. He has, I think, 1 less card than Calamite. So you're looking at 16, if not 17 cards. He draws 6 cards. 2 of them are going to end up being heat up cards upon entering heat up, which his heat up pool is going to be 20 life. So you have to deal 30 damage to him first. Of course, you know how that works. And just show off Manus's model. It's there. Originally, I had a very high poly one, and then it didn't get into the game, and I was afraid that if I kept it, it wasn't going to 3D print either. So here's a low poly Manus. I had to cut off his tail here, right there. So yeah, thanks for watching this. If you like this kind of format, please let me know. It's a lot easier for me and requires a lot less text. So yeah, so here we go. Originally the content was going to add 3 bosses and 6 enemies. Now we've got 4 bosses, 6 enemies. I've started the tiles. I have 4 of those done. All boss tiles are done. I'm going to show those off later, when closer to release. As soon as I finish everything, I'm going to make a new video. Sorry about that. Just showing off all the assets that I've created, saying, hey, you know, things are coming along quite smoothly. We're going to start play testing now, so stay tuned for further updates. Right now, what I have left is that I need to make 2 more encounter tiles. So I have an idea what I'm going to do for those, just to take a little bit of time on my end. Also, I need to make the encounter cards, and now I don't know how long those are going to take. They might be super fast. It depends on how I set things up, but I really don't expect them to take a long time. Anyways, thanks everyone for all the support you've been giving me and my brother throughout this project. Just as a reminder, everything's going to be on Tabletop Simulator. This project is completely free. I'm going to try to get a physical copy of this launched and working as soon as we finish it and play test it and make sure everything's balanced so people don't keep reprinting. That's a waste of money, waste of assets, waste of resources. So I'm going to try to do everyone a favor here. As always, you can download everything on the Tabletop Simulator workshop that we've created, and I'm going to post that in the description of the video. And that brings us to a conclusion, a 10-minute wrap-up of everything that I've done for the Dark Souls, the board game expansion. So cheers, and Try to stay alive, Ash.